So many people are gluten sensitive. They have to be careful what they eat. They can't have wheat, barley, or rye. I'm Mark Silverstein, and right now Chef Geoff Tracy of Chef Jeff's, shows us a recipe that is both gluten-free and delicious. Gluten sensitivity is a problem so many people are struggling with. Dr. Christy Teal, the director of the Breast Care Center at George Washington University Medical Faculty Associate. You know it personally, right?
I do. I have something called celiac disease, which is you react to gluten. It's an inflammatory response. And gluten is wheat, barley, and rye.
When it comes to eating then, I mean, you have to be extremely careful about what you eat. And is it pose some challenges on when you go to a restaurant or when you...
My favorite thing when I go to a restaurant is if they have a gluten-free menu, then I can feel comfortable that the chef knows what is gluten and how to avoid it. And I know that then it's a kitchen that uses careful practices to not contaminate gluten products with gluten-free products.
Well, just so happens we have just the guy for this, Chef Geoff Tracy. You deal with this as well. You have gluten-free menus now.
There's no doubt. I've been in business for over 12 years, and during that period of time, I see more and more of the tickets coming in where the servers ring in and say, hey, gluten allergy, and all of a sudden, you just start seeing it over and over and over again. And we made a decision as a sort of a culinary team that we had to sort of address this. What could we do? And we talked to a bunch of the people, and people are like, we'd love to see separate menus that are really clear, as opposed to the surface. Well, I think that one is. I think that one is. So 2 years ago, we actually created an entirely different gluten-free menu. We have them at all the restaurants. You come in. You can tell the host that you have it. They pull out the gluten-free menu and bring it right over to you.
All right, so what are we making, Chef Geoff?
All right, so we're going to make a sort of an old-school fisherman stew. We're going to put in, whatever comes off the boat that particular day, whatever's sort of fresh and delicious. We're going to have mussels in ours. We're going to have a little snapper, shrimp. It's going to be delicious. It's again, a very, very healthy dish, and it has tons of flavor. And it's just one of my favorite things to eat. This is one of my favorite recipes.
So it's very healthy. Shh, don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. It can be healthy and taste great too. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a broth. And you can make this broth ahead of time if you want to. That's how we do it in the restaurants. But at home, you're not going to really need to do that. You can just kind of make the broth and then just sort of steam all the seafood in there when you're doing the cooking.
Oh, wonderful.
We're going to put just a little bit of olive oil in. We're going to put some aromatic vegetables.
Onions.
I got some onions. We got some red peppers. You can do a little stirring.
What's
that? A little jalapeno for a little flavor. Lots of garlic.
I love that you do a homemade broth.
Oh, yeah.
Because some broths actually have gluten. Chicken broth is notorious for having gluten in it. So
right, and they would use the flour in there sort of as a roux to sort of thicken it.
Come get in here. You gotta see this. Come look at it. Look at the colors.
The smell. I wish we could give the smell. It's like wonderful. All these different. The jalapeno and the onions are just.
So there's plenty of flavor there, and it looks good and it's healthy.
All right, so up next, I've got a little smoked paprika.
Ooh. And can you get that anywhere?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got some dried oregano. Mix that all in. And then I've got some tomato paste, which is sticking.
That's why they call it paste.
Yeah.
Oh, real? Wow.
Tomato paste and vegetable broth.
Am I smelling the smoked paprika? It smells like it's almost on a grill.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It definitely has a smokiness, and you'll taste that in the final dish. Once you put the tomato paste in, you really need to make sure you get, you know how tomato paste is bright red? Mm-hmm. Well, when it's cooked properly, it should be sort of a caramelized, deep brown color. You see that kind of developing right there?
Yeah.
And that's really developing a lot of flavor. I'm going to put a little veg broth in.
What is that?
Vegetable broth.
Oh, okay.
And I'm also going to put some white wine in.
Now, so how much are you...
I put 8 ounces of the vegetable stock and about 8 ounces of the wine in.
Oh,
That's good. That's fine. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Share it with everybody.
Good.
And the wine, of course, the alcohol cooks off.
The alcohol all cooks off, actually.
aren't you
Really
supposed
just
to
giving
drink a little
flavor.
of the wine while you're?
You know, that is very true. We don't have a glass here right now, but yeah, you know, if you're cooking with wine, I suggest
You
drinking
got to
wine.
drink
It
some of
helps,
it.
yes.
What I'm getting at is you use a wine in your cooking that you would be willing to drink.
Absolutely. I would not go down deep into the cellar and pull out the, Chateau Petrus, but I would certainly find a wine that's fresh and drinkable.
And tasty. Let me see that wine.
This is my Chef Jeff's
What is that
wine.
wine? Look at this. Just so happens the most perfect wine for cooking and for enjoying happens to be Chef Jeff's.
And this happens to be an Albarino, which is a Spanish white varietal. Crisp, good, delicious, very cost effective. You can also use Chardonnays, Sauvignon Blancs, Chenin Blanc, just any sort of white wine in this dish works really nicely. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring this to a simmer and let it simmer, not like a hard boil, a simmer for about 30 minutes.
Is it better if it stays overnight if you're really that planned ahead? Or?
You know, on something like this, it would reduce down too far, and you've got a lot of flavor in there. You don't want to concentrate it further. You'd end up with a sort of a reduction.
Yeah.
You almost turn it into a sauce.
Okay.
This is going to be more of a brothy thing.
It smells wonderful.
And you see it come into a simmer.
Yeah.
Just comes up to a simmer. Let it go for about 30 minutes. Goes 35, you'll be just fine. Goes an hour, you're just fine.
You're good. Enjoy the wine.
But
Don't drink too much.
But get 30 minutes into it.
Half hour on this at least. Let it simmer.
Yep. So we got the broth going. It's very, very aromatic. I mean, you can really smell those onions and the peppers and especially that smoked paprika. Just a delicious broth. And we're going to leave all these, all this goodness in the dish, and so that will end up in our bowl. I've got some potatoes. So we're going to just add the ingredients. We're going to cook the mussels, the snapper, and the shrimp right in there. If you wanted to change up the seafood, if you had cod, you had scallops, you could. These things could interchange. It's called a fisherman stew because the fishermen would come home off the boat. This is what they particularly had. Maybe trade with some of the other fishermen. They would just have a batch of seafood, bring it home, put it in sort of flavorful liquid. This is one pot cooking. I mean, one pot. I mean, really.
And I
really
noticed
easy.
you slice them very small.
Yeah,
Just to make sure they
I did
cook.
the potatoes just so that they sort of cook through and they're sort of the same size. If it's a little bit rougher, you just cook the potatoes a little bit longer. Not a big deal.
So these are the potatoes.
Yeah, so we just have some, again, nicely diced potatoes. If you're not great at dicing, again, it can be kind of rough chopped. It doesn't have to be as pretty as we make it here in the restaurant, but.
You want it bite size.
Yeah, you want it bite size. Yeah, it shouldn't be super big. The broth is I've sort of brought it up to a boil. We're going to add the potatoes. We're going to take the mussels. We're going to take the snapper. We're going to take the shrimp. We're going to put them all in at the same time.
And I noticed you left the tails on the shrimp. Is
I
that
left the
just
tails on the shrimp,
appearance?
and these are big shrimp. I mean, these are kind of jumbo, sort of cocktail shrimp size. You can use smaller shrimp. It just makes for a nice presentation when they're nice and big. Put a little seasoning in there, a little pepper.
Does it adds a little starch in there? Is that when it cooks?
Yeah, but it's not that much. And it's a healthy starch.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely.
Potato is a wonderful starch as opposed to a pasta.
I got a little bit of cilantro, a little oregano, fresh
So-
herbs in there.
Potatoes are a gluten-sensitive person's friend. Rice is completely safe as long as it's cooked in a safe broth.
All right, so I'm going to put a lid on this and really just sort of let this steam. Steaming is a very sort of healthy cooking technique. We'll let that go. As soon as the mussels are ready, that's really telling you that the rest of the dish is done. If you think this is going to take 20 minutes, you're going to overcook the dish. This is a really, again, a 5-minute pickup. It's quick, it's fast, it's easy to do at the house. You can do kind of a bigger pot. You can cook, I mean, we have a lot of room in this pot. You can cook it for the entire family, ladle it out, and you've got your dinner. Fisherman stew.
How
So
do you
when the
know
mussels open?
When the mussels open, that's really telling you what's
good to
wrong.
go.
If you substitute something like mussels open pretty quickly, and they sort of cook in about the same time that it takes to cook the snapper and the shrimp. if you were to put in something like clams, which actually take maybe about 4 times longer than sort of mussels, you'd want to put the clams in first and sort of cook those items.
Are mussels hard to find?
Mussels are really easy to find. They're harvested. Find a place that you really trust to buy it. Find a fishmonger, make them your friend, make her your friend, and smell those products. They should smell very, very, very fresh, like the clean ocean.
I had a question for you then. So you were foods that are friends for gluten issues. What do you gluten resistant?
Well, pasta is a no-no. Although you now can get very good gluten-free pastas.
Yeah, made with like rice flour. Or...
Yes, yes, and there's some even out of Italy, which is. They're really wonderful pastas, and they cook very similar to regular pastas. Some gluten-free pastas tend to just mush if you overcook it even 1 minute. But so it's a little trickier.
All right.
All right, wait. Let's take a look. Come, take a look.
As I said, this does not take a long time.
That was hardly any time.
You can see the shrimp. The shrimp are cooked. The mussels are
nice and plump. Look at that. Yeah.
Snappers all cooked right through. Again, seafood cooks very quickly. It does not need to cook forever.
And the smell has changed. Now you get the seafood smell.
You get the seafood smell in there, right?
That's beautiful.
So what we're going to do is we're going to plate this up nice and easy.
You're going to have to start serving gluten-free bread.
Yeah.
Is this on your menu?
Yes, it is. It's a very big seller on all our menus.
That's gorgeous. That is a nice size serving.
Yeah, it's robust, but everything in it is so healthy. I mean, mussels and shrimp and the snapper, just healthy items, flavorful broth, cooked in a very sort of healthy cooking method, in basically a fat-free aromatic broth. And there you have it.
It's gorgeous.
Fisherman stew.
You ready to taste it?
Absolutely, fisherman stew.
You guys taste it in there. I'll just work this here.
You can take it right out of the pot. Yeah. That's good. That's good eating.
Go ahead.
Oh, this is gorgeous. Look at him trying to knock me out of the way. That fish is so tender.
It's just super tender, and I mean, sometimes people would say like kind of whitefish, kind of bland, but it's been cooked in this flavorful broth, steamed. It's healthy, it's delicious. It's one of my favorite dishes.
Oh, it's wonderful.
It really does, and I like the little
flavor.
The little what is it? The heat at the end there. What is it?
Yeah, I mean the paprika and the jalapeno is going to put a little bit of heat into the dish, and adding herbs and spices. These are ways to add a lot of flavor to what is a very healthy dish, and so the dish then pops. It's got some excitement in it, as opposed to thinking that food that is very healthy has to be bland and have no flavor in it. Add flavor. I love dishes that have pop with flavor, and this is a dish that happens to be healthy, but it pops with flavor.
So it's gluten-free and full of flavor.
Delicious.
Cheers.